angel to visit in the night. I pray and I pray, but the demons don't subside. I wake up in the morning, see my life through my new eyes. The vision is clear, I'm making all things right. Tighten the screws, cause last night I almost died. I'll see you in the morning, I'll say to you, come on, let's talk, just me and you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is Wacky Wednesday. Yes, indeed, it is wacky. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, we got some news to talk about today. Uh-oh.
It's whack off when.
Oh, no, we're not. Well, you can this month. You can whack off all month long. Hey, man, in case you didn't know, man, this whole month is masturbation month. Yeah, it's masturbation month all month long. And on the 28th is National Masturbation Day.
House of the Hairy Palms.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you did not know, you can whack off all month long. All month. But on the 28th, everybody should be whacking off.
Whack off
29th. Remember those that gave their life for your country for us to be able to do the shit we do.
Oh, yes.
In all seriousness.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some news coming out from the Surgeon General saying that social media is dangerous.
No.
I could have told him that.
Do the
Social
Macaulay
media
Culkin.
is dangerous for your children and for adults. Yes.
You think?
So there's going to be a warning now on the internet. Yeah, so when you go turn
Are you serious, T?
on TikTok, Facebook, there's going to be a Surgeon General warning on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything.
Oh my God, that's funny. They should have come out with that shit when it was you've got mail. Surgeon General warning.
Yeah, we had to dial this shit up.
Yeah. See, the internet could lead to masturbation.
We had to dial the internet up. We had to dial it up.
Yeah. And wait on that shit.
What do you think about that, brother?
Man,
I don't know what to think anymore.
which brother are you talking to? Because you got two here.
You know, everything is a trigger warning nowadays. Everything.
Right.
There's companies and even whole cities that are banning words that it makes no freaking sense whatsoever because it triggers people. See, like you can't say homeless anymore. It's the unhoused.
Yes, nothing.
You have to say the unhoused.
Unhinged. How about these government unhinged? Or these cancel people and cancel culture and all this bullshit. I give a rat's ass about your feelings. Truth hurts.
Oh.
And it's the hard conversations that have to be had. Period. If you don't like it, go hide away in your cave. You know, you got used to it during this lockdown bullshit.
Right.
No way. Let the adults play. Let's have a common sense conversation and let's take care of America's business.
I feel you, brother. I mean,
we all know it's in the inner cities and we owe these people, we owe these inner city youth. They are Americans. They have the right to freedom and choice of schools and what they learn. Parents have to get involved with this. I'm tired of people sending their kids to school expecting a teacher to instill morals, values, and principles in their children. Guess what, baby? That starts at home. And if you can't do it, be glad I'm not your parent's teacher because I'd jerk your kid's ass up and whip his ass. or gay or them. All them motherfuckers.
Yeah. I hear you, brother.
This is bullshit. But if they start in the inner cities, tear down the trap houses, tear down the whorehouses, tear down the abandoned buildings, do all of that.
Right.
And let the communities decide what they would like to have built there. Sports center, a library, a park, or all the above. Loki, what are you doing on that table?
Try to be part of the show. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, Surgeon General is going to put a safety warning on the internet. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the next story for the day. If y'all have not heard, South Carolina is putting a 6-week abortion ban. Yes, 6-week abortion ban bill they passed yesterday. What do you think about that?
How do you even know it this week?
You can't get no abortion. I know a lot of people going to South Carolina to get abortions because other people shut their abortions off, but guess what? South Carolina shutting it off at 6 weeks.
Well, don't they call abortion something else now? I thought it was. There's
I
a
call it
certain
murder.
name, right? I was watching a video, and it was I think I saw it on Facebook, on one of the reels. But there was a guy. He was talking to some pro-life. He was a pro-lifer, which you know I don't give a rat's ass what you are. You know, let's be realistic. But he was talking about how the abortion pushers that they will want to legalize abortion up to birth.
Right. Yeah.
And
Virginia tried to push that craziness.
Right. And so this cat tells him, he said, okay, well, what about if the mom's hooked on meth or heroin or some other drug? And he said, well, that's her choice, you know. I don't think she should be doing it while she's pregnant. And they said, well, why not? And he said, because that's intentionally killing a baby.
Right.
And the guy said, oh, but you want abortion up to death, huh? I mean, up to birth. You know? So he snatched that dude's ass up. He was like, oh, I see what you did there, tricky little bastard. Stupid.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say my piece on this. If you are allowed to walk, talk, speak your mind, think about your life. Your parents didn't abort you. They didn't abort you. You are allowed to think, talk, walk, all that for yourself. So if your parents gave you that opportunity, why not give another that opportunity? Why not?
If you put yourself in an adult situation,
even if you don't want the kid, you can get a kid up for adoption. Give them up. Say, look, I can't raise a kid, but I know somebody else in the world can raise that child. There's people in the world that can't have kids. Tons of people.
Too many.
And they would love to have your child if you don't want it. That's how I think about it. That's my take on it.
I can agree with that. I agree with that, T. But if these kids, these teenagers and things, and young people are going to put themselves in an adult situation, guess what? There's adult consequences for your actions. High speed.
Exactly.
You want to go have sex, unprotected sex, all that. This is what can happen. And you want to play Russian roulette with it. That's on you. Right. But both, the boy and the girl that created this baby should be held accountable. Not just the woman,
right?
But the boy, the man, whatever as well. But my daughter got to have 3 grandsons now, and the first time her mother and I had intercourse, she got pregnant.
Right.
And I went to her dad, my ex-wife's dad, and this man's a preacher. Well, he's a cult leader, in my opinion. He was. But dude said, I told him, I'm here to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, and she's pregnant. And he said, how far along is she? Can she have an abortion?
Oh, see.
And I'm like,
you gotta be kidding.
Hold on. Oh, I just said I want to marry your daughter.
Yeah.
Next you would tell me how far is she? Can she get an abortion?
Yeah. And you're a pastor, And so, I didn't let that happen. I took over the situation, and I love my daughter with all my heart. She's a swift kick in the ass from time to time, but I couldn't imagine my life without her. I couldn't imagine my life without my son.
Wow.
I mean, but there are circumstances where some flexibility has to be allowed in the case of rape, incest. medical threat to the mother's life, the child's life.
Yes.
All those things need to be kept in the conversation. Using abortion as a form of birth control, no, man, that's bullshit.
No, it's no go, right?
No, and so that's why they should allow these morning after pills. You know, I mean,
can we get a pill to stop our stuff?
Right? Hey, well, and that's what they say. They say
we have nothing for us. Nothing.
We can go get snipped, have a vasectomy.
Yeah, but that don't even work.
That's reversible. Shut up, Loki. You're not on the show.
He thinks he is.
Like,
give me a chance.
It sounds like he had a lot to say.
Yeah.
Give me attention.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got one more story for you. One more story that we're going to get into the show. 19-year-old boy drives a U-Haul truck into the White House. I don't know if y'all heard about that one.
But twice.
Yeah.
His dumb ass hit the bars, backed up, and hit it again.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Said he was going to kill the president and take over the world.
He wasn't, in my opinion, the young man is a terrorist. He said he liked Nazis, and he said he wanted to take out the president. That was his mission.
And he said that Hitler was his
19-year-old.
dude. He was praising Hitler, and
yeah, I think his name was Sukacha Logu, some Arabic name.
Yeah.
Indian name, yes.
This
and
is
I'm pretty sure he probably came here illegally. Probably not even legal. I don't know. He might be legal. I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
had a Nazi flag.
Why is this happening?
Because the rhetoric and the propaganda they push on the freaking news and on TV shows, all this bullshit. You know, if you tell a lie over and over and over and over, people begin to believe it.
Oh, of course.
And
if the news
they talk about accountability and transparency. I got your transparency. I can see right through your lies.
Right.
You're number one, buddy. Sorry. I'm just being real.
Oh, man.
There's too many issues that have common sense solutions that face us in America. They want to keep us at each other's throat and say it's all about race and da-da-da. No, it's not. No, it's not. For them, it may be, because that keeps them in power and gives them what they're doing is wrong. Right. And this is on both sides. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. We put them on all ends, man.
They already confiscated Epstein Island, so why don't we send them on vacation, the House and the Senate, let them go point fingers at each other, and let's take an interim government and take care of America's business.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show. We have a special guest, as you see, Mr. Damian Bennett. Brother, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes. He's a veteran, ladies and gentlemen. A veteran. He's been through the trenches. He's been through it, through the ringer and back, and he's still doing his duty, ladies and gentlemen. Still doing his duty, trying to take care of the soldiers, the veterans, all that good stuff. Damian, man, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Morning, everyone. I'm Damian Bennett, U.S. Army retired. I served from 99 to 2005.
We went at the same time, brother.
Did you? What branch?
I went 99 too.
Yeah. I'm not a combat vet. I didn't have to leave Fort Drum, New York to see the results of training for combat, for war. That's what we do every day, It's the things I saw, out in the fields and things, were pretty gut wrenching. But the worst thing I saw was a dear friend of mine pass away on her 39th birthday of cancer.
Wow.
And, and so that one really did me over. Mm. And so since 2005, my separation, I was medically separated.
Okay.
I was told at age 35 that I'm totally and permanently disabled, individually unemployable.
Wow.
So yeah,
How did you take that, brother?
man, I'm still getting through it. I'm still trying to deal with it because, I'm sitting there looking at my property, looking at my pool, and all this shit needs to be done, and I can't do it.
Wow.
I can't ride the tractor and the ride mower, and I can't do any of this. My wife has to do it.
Wow.
My wife's my primary caretaker.
Right.
The VA doesn't compensate her for this.
Huh.
The VA healthcare is a joke.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, all hospitals, well, not all, but a lot of them throughout the United States, whether they're military, civilian, or veteran, they are training hospitals for local colleges of medicine.
Right.
These medical students have to learn somewhere. But within the VA system, you don't see, in a specialty clinic, you do not see a doctor unless it's time for the surgery, time for certain procedures and things. And then even when that happens and you go into, like, take, for example, my last surgery was my lower spine was fused. And I talked to the director of the neurosurgery clinic at Michael E. DeBakey in Houston, and I was led to believe that he would be doing my surgery.
Right.
No. After the surgery, I read my surgical notes, and he observed residents doing my surgery.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
So you got rookies working on me.
You're the guinea pig.
Yeah, and I'm not a crash, test dummy. I'm not a guinea pig. I'm not a test subject. If they want to test shit on people, there's plenty of prisons with lifers in there. Go ahead.
There you go. Exactly.
But it upsets me that as a veteran who signed on the dotted line, raised my right hand and swore an oath to defend this country from enemies foreign and domestic with and up to my life. And through these years, so many veterans have given everything for us to have the freedoms we have.
Right.
These elected officials would not have their job if it wasn't for the veterans, if it wasn't for the first responders, the police, the firemen, the paramedics, the social workers, all these people that are community based. It's the blue collar people that actually build this country. And shut up, you dumbass.
Everybody wants to be part of the show today.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. I got 7 dogs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And a cat that thinks it's a dog. That crazy bastard. He's at the door. He's at the French doors. But anyway, these elected officials, they, because they can hold a meeting and vote,
right?
They get, they go to Bethesda or to the new Walter Reed, and for them and their families, they get better pay. They have a better retirement plan. Yes, they pay into Social Security, but they don't depend on it. They have their own retirement plan, and they can retire after 4 years.
Right.
A veteran's, a soldier or a military member's enlistment is generally 4 years. And you either re-up or you go into the reserves for 2 years.
Right.
And you go back to work.
Right.
These lifelong politicians, they don't care. They're insider trading. They're, how do you, even at $174,000 a year, and you work 20 years, then you could, if you invest and save your money, then you could be maybe a millionaire. But these asshats are multi-millionaires.
Right.
How are you going to do that on the American taxpayer's dollar? We pay our taxes. We should have every say in where our taxes go.
You're right. I agree.
And,
100%.
Yeah, there are elected officials, but once these people, even veterans that are elected official, not all, but some, Once they're elected and they get politicized, they forget all
They forget all about their time in service. Yep.
Well, not just their time in service, but their constituents that they represent.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not only representing veterans, they're representing all Americans.
Right.
You know,
are you going to defend us against that domestic terrorist in the White House?
Yeah.
That's another time.
Even with instructions, he wouldn't know how to pull the pin.
It's sad. Yeah,
it really is. And I mean, you know, I don't want to go political because I'm neither Republican
feel free,
nor
man.
Democrat.
You can do it. This is the show to do it.
I blame them all.
We get into everything here, man. We keep it 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take all of them. Let's take all of them. You know, there are good and bad. Some that are fighting, but they're usually outvoted, overrun by the ones that have been there forever.
Right.
But it's both sides. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm an American, and I just happen to be an American veteran.
There you go.
And until they start, you know, if it doesn't affect them personally, they have no clue. They don't care. It doesn't bother them. They let it go.
Nope, they do not care.
And, you know, with poor Biden, you know, his son died in Iraq. Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know. Where did he serve? You got any pictures?
Yeah. And, you know,
what did he die from?
What did you say, Coyote?
I said, what did he die from?
He died of cancer.
His daddy.
Right. I mean, if you're the president's son, wouldn't you think there'd be some kind of exemption? You know, but who knows? It's not my place. I don't care. But
he was probably given something cushy.
Well, you know, with burn pits and the toxic exposure. I mean, there's so many veterans. You know, everybody when they passed the PACT Act, everybody's jumping up and down, and Jon Stewart's, you know, up in DC and yelling, "Shut up, you! I didn't ask your freaking opinion."
That means he agreed.
Yeah.
The animals are taking over the show.
Yeah.
Hey, animals' lives matter.
Oh shit! Gabriel, come here, dude. Come here, slobber chops.
So yeah, brother. So let me ask you a question, man. How was the process coming out the military, man? How was it?
It was a blur. It was a joke. The out processing. Basically, it's like, you know, you're going through basic and signing up at stations, and just because you showed up, you get a green to go. Hey, dude, you don't shut up, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you with this freaking. See this damn fly swatter?
Yeah.
This is an Amish-made fly swatter. This is leather, a thick-ass leather strap.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of thick.
Man.
It looked like a sex toy.
That's what I thought, dude. I got this for Christmas.
Okay.
Was your wife trying to tell you something?
No. But we were out here, man. We get the horse flies come in, the deer flies and shit. And I go through those plastic crappy.
Oh yeah, them things are horrible.
Right. And I'm sitting here in my chair, and my sister's sitting across from me on a love seat. And I used to play tennis. And so, man, I'm out here stoned, fucking hitting horse flies. Bow, bow, bow. And they're cracking up laughing at me. Look at this crazy ass dude. And so she's sitting there, and I was practicing my backhand, and I hit that damn fly. Bam! Right in the center of her forehead across the freaking patio.
Oh, no.
And, man, I died laughing, and I was like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't do that again in a million tries.
Right.
Next afternoon, we're sitting here, and she's on the love seat, and I'm hitting horse flies. Whap! Right in the center of her freaking forehead. And, dude, I fell the fuck out, man. I'm like, oh, my God. She got mad that time. You did that on purpose. I said, I wish I did.
Right. Oh man, that's
But
funny,
anyway,
man.
yeah, the out processing was quick. It was to the point, they tell you, oh, we're going to take care of this, we're going to take care of that. Everything's being forwarded to the VA.
Right,
Okay, well, how do you know what VA I'm going to?
right.
Number one, and it's here in Texas. We have the Texas Veterans Commission,
Okay.
and it's the Military Veteran Peer Network, and I'm a certified Military Veteran Peer Network counselor, and the classes that you have to go through and things you have to watch and to go through for the Military Veteran Peer Network counseling, they are incredible. They have so much information. It's so precise. It walks you through every step. And DOD won't let us go and teach these courses on military bases.
Huh.
They have the TAP and the TAP 5, and it's mixed reviews as to how some people, what they got out of it and what others didn't. And,
Right.
it depends on the person and paying attention and how involved they are in their career and their military separation and what their plans are for the future.
Mm.
So every veteran's different as to how they separated, whether they did their enlistment and went to the reserves,
Right.
whether they did 20 plus years and retired, whether they're like me and medically retired.
Mm.
It's all different, but when you're going into the VA system, it's all the same.
Right.
You have to have all your ducks in a row. When I was put in the medical hold unit on Fort Drum, we didn't have a medical hold. It was just me and 4 or 5 other soldiers sitting around watching paint dry and grass grow.
Wow.
And so I went to the sergeant major of the post, Command Sergeant Major Lopez, and I told him, I said, dude, I don't know these guys, and I'm not sitting around here. I'm going home.
Right.
And he's like, Bennett, I'm glad you came in, and asked me if I knew how to drive a tractor. And I said, well, yeah. They said, well, can you operate a bush hog? Yeah. Can you operate a batwing? Yeah. Well, can you ride a riding lawnmower?
Yeah. Okay.
Sergeant Major, don't let me slap the shit out of you.
Jesus
He
Christ,
said, yeah, that
man.
was a pretty stupid question. Well, that was kind of a stupid question, wasn't it? And I said, take the kind of out and you got it. And so I took these other soldiers out on old post by the old World War II billets, and they had big fields out there, and I trained them up on riding lawnmowers and the tractor and the bush hog, batwing. And I literally rode around post, the main parts of post, and watched these guys cut grass all day.
Huh.
And slowly we were incorporated under MEDAC, and we're a department of MEDAC as the medical hold unit. I came in one morning to open morning formation, and I'm at the podium, and I hear somebody coming out of my office, and I turn around. The fuck are you doing in my office? And I saw her rank, and I said, Sergeant. And she comes out, and little redheaded Italian fireball. She comes out and she said, you must be Bennett. And I said, correct, Sergeant. And whom may you be? She said, I'm the new NCOIC of medical hold. So she's telling me she's taking my job.
Right.
Okay. What does that make me? She said,
right.
She said, you're my new office bitch. All righty then. Okay.
Right.
Never knew it. I had played sports, basketball, football, soccer, everything with her 3 sons. She lived right across the street from me.
Wow.
In Watertown. I never knew that she lived there. And I never knew their mom was in the military. And so we became family. And she was misdiagnosed by the Army. They told her she did not have pancreatic cancer when in fact she did.
Wow.
And one of the toughest women I've ever met in my life. Besides my granny, who was my Cajun fireball, Sergeant P was my, as I said, little redheaded Italian fireball.
Right.
And unfortunately, her partner came back from deployment to take care of her and everything, and I was there every day. Her partner Joanne and the 3 boys, Anthony. Oh damn, Anthony, Chris, and Michael, and I sang. It was after midnight that night, and it was Sergeant P's birthday. Vic, that was her birthday, and Joanne had made her a cake, and we lit the candles and sang her happy birthday. And when we blew out the candles, she went with the candles. And
Oh my God.
yeah, it was bad. That hit me harder than anything I'd seen in the field. Picking up body parts after artillery accidents and Black Hawk accidents, and that really did a number on me. And
I couldn't imagine, brother. Wow.
well, she became a shell of the woman she was.
Right, of course.
And we had a hospital bed in the living room, and as you can tell, I have a deep voice and it carries, so I would have to try and whisper, because if she heard me, she would get out of that hospital bed and come to me and ask me, how are you doing? How are they taking care of you? How is your back? What's going on with your surgeries?
Wow.
Until she would collapse in my arms. And I would hold her until my arms would go numb, and I'd carry her back to the bed, and she was an amazing woman. And
sounds like it, brother. Sounds like
it. I was blessed to have her in my life, but that's I saw and went through things that there's veterans, and especially our special forces, our Navy SEALs, our Marine Recon,
right.
Army Rangers. These people have been through hell and back. They've seen the writing on the wall.
Of course.
And everyone's different. It's so difficult because when you go into basic training, I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, and now it's Fort Moore after.
I was in Knox, brother. Fort Knox.
Guarding the gold, huh?
But go ahead, brother.
Well, shit, now I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Damn it, TBI kicks in. But no, it's these guys, they go through the special training and they do these things, and it all depends on your MOS and what you're doing, and your military occupational specialty or your job in the military.
Right.
I was a systems administrator with a secret clearance.
Okay.
But
okay.
I'm attached to an infantry unit. I was 187th Infantry. And so I had to do everything an infantry combat soldier did, or not,
right.
Infantry soldier preparing for combat, and my job.
Right.
And, but we were ready to deploy anywhere in the world in 72 hours.
Right.
And so, each thing you're doing, each job in the military depends on, how much you see, what you see, what you deal with. And so for some, it's easier to transition out of the military and, stick to their career path and diverge that into the civilian sector. But for others, they come back and they're still lost.
Right.
They were lost just going through the motions in the military. They weren't receiving and are not receiving the mental treatment they require, the understanding. We follow orders, and a lot of people, were ordered to do things that we usually would not do.
Right.
But war is hell, and when it comes down to it's you or me, guess what? It's gonna be you.
Right.
And that's what they're faced with. And so we're trained to do these things and to not show feelings, emotions, any of these things. And we come back into the civilian sector and they expect us to adapt and overcome when this is nothing like a military structure.
Right. Nothing.
It's not the routine that we're accustomed to and that we train to do. And so going to the VA and talking to these, I don't give a rat's ass how many, degrees you have hanging on the wall. Unless you've been there, done that, keep your mouth shut. 'cause
Right. You
you
can't
have
tell me nothing. Right.
you know, and that's just being real. You know,
Right.
I've had a VA pain psychologist call me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and this dumbass, he wants to tell me, instead of focusing on my pain, I'm a chronic pain patient. I've had 37 surgeries. I have several more to go.
Man.
And they refused to treat my pain when they came out with this opioid dependency program.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, the opioid issue in the United States, the opioid epidemic. Well, we all know that Purdue Pharma and all these Lilly and all these other big pharmaceutical corporations, their largest client is the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
And so when are the government, the 5 branches of the military and the VA going to stand up and take responsibility for their contribution to the opioid epidemic that they contribute to this day?
There you go. Right.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen. They settled billions with Purdue Pharma, and these dumbasses are talking about, oh, we're going to build more treatment facilities. Well, if they're based on the ones you have now that don't work, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
You know, this is not working, and this is not monopoly money. You know,
right.
Put this together correctly and use the treatments. Listen to the veterans. You know, we can be such an example for mental health and PTSD and traumatic issues. You know, there's a wealth of knowledge in the VA system because they've been taking care of mental patients for decades.
Right.
You know, and like we were talking about with the PACT Act, they pushed that. You know, Vietnam veterans have been fighting for Agent Orange and, you know, burn pits and toxic exposure for 50 freaking years.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's jumping up and down. Yeah, they pushed the PACT Act. You know, hey, man, calm down, dude. Just because they passed it into law, it's going to be years before the VA properly implements it.
Yes.
So, John Stewart, shut up before I take the microphone and beat you over the head with it. Tell the damn truth. You know,
man.
do the right thing and tell the truth. And you know, like I said, it's the truth hurts. It's a jagged little pill, but
right.
It's those hard conversations and being honest with one another that has to happen.
Right. Let me ask you a question, brother. You was telling me you deal with housing for veterans. How is that? How's that going, brother? How's that with the housing?
The housing, we're on the here in Beaumont, Texas, we're on the homeless veterans, or it's the homeless coalition, but we focus on homeless veterans.
Right.
There are halfway houses. So what, Cody?
I said it's the unhoused.
Oh yeah.
No, right.
That's a correct term now.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, we can't say homeless. That's racist.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So, you know, there's 3 kind of veterans because we don't just deal with homeless veterans. We deal with veterans, period.
Right.
But you know, these people talk about, you know, oh, we're going to get these homeless veterans into permanent housing and this and that. Right. Well, guess what? That's a whole nother transition for these veterans to make.
Right.
There's a reason why they're on the street.
There you go.
You know, whether it's addiction to alcohol, drugs, mental issues.
Right.
You know, just give up on themselves, give up on life, you know, feel like they're not worthy, whatever it may be. You have to, you know, go out and speak with these veterans and offer help, but you're going to run into 3 kind of veterans. You're going to have the veterans that don't want your help. They're happy to be where they're at. They're happy to be on the street. And hey, that's their choice. You know, I respect that. Then the second you're going to get is a veteran that wants your help, but wants you to do all the work for them to change their situation. It doesn't say secretary or punk on my freaking forehead. And then the third is you find the veterans that want your help and want to take the resources you offer them, do the legwork, and change the situation that their choices have put them in their life.
Right.
Those are the ones you want. But you have to deal with all 3.
Right.
So it's many cities are saying, okay, we're going to take, abandoned or boarded up hotels or apartment buildings, and we're going to remodel these and get homeless veterans off the street.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be in command of that complex? Because you can take the veteran off the street, but you're not going to take the street out of the veteran or the homeless person, or excuse me, what is it again, Coyote? Unhoused?
Unhoused. Yeah, that's it.
Unhinged. That's bad, not just them, but you can't take that out of them. They're going to bring the alcohol, the drugs, the drama, whatever it may be. And so there has to be someone on site. There has to be, it's a transition. You're going from this situation in life and you want to work towards this other. And so it's a step-by-step process. There has to be the mental counseling, the support groups. It's a huge leap, but it can be done. You just have to take it one step at a time and have a mission and a goal.
Right. Let me ask you a question, brother. Now, I don't know if you heard this or not. Trump has said that when he gets back in office, that he's going to make sure that he cleans up homelessness. Now, his way of cleaning it up is this. He says, if you don't want to get help, you're going to go to jail or prison if you don't get the help that you need to get off the street. What do you think about that?
I think it's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit too.
I don't,
I mean, I like the idea of cleaning it up, but not that way.
No, it's not, get off the street or go to jail.
Right.
We got too many people that are in jail that shouldn't be.
It's already overcrowded as it is.
Exactly. And
so what's that going to fix?
It's not going to do anything. It's just going to clean up the streets, and it's going to take it out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
That's all it is. It's a Band-Aid, and
but they're going to get out and go right back to being homeless again. So
exactly. What incentives are they going to give these people to better their lives? The people see them and they're addicted to drugs, and so many, inmates that get released from prison, they're red flagged already. People don't want to hire them because they are, they've been in the penitentiary or state jail, whatever,
Right.
And so there are programs for these inmates and veteran inmates. They have the Texas Veterans Commission has the Veterans Court.
Mm-hmm.
And here in Texas and in each city, they have a Veterans Court representative. And we try to help these veterans that are lost on drugs and things like that, getting, in serious trouble. But we should be able to do this for all inmates. There has to be better learning programs so they can get their high school diploma. They can go for a college degree. But it's on them. You
can't make them. Yeah.
These slangers and bangers, they go from one game on the street to one game in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I have to deal every 4 to 5 years. I have to write protest letters to keep the man who murdered my father in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you try and leave that kind of stuff in the past and work through it and make your life better. And you feel like you're making progress, and then bam, you get a letter in the mail or an email. Inmate so-and-so is up for going before the Board of Pardons and Paroles, and, we're notifying you and this and that. And, it's a joke. This guy was 17 years old when he went into Huntsville State Prison. He was somebody's bitch as soon as he walked in the door.
Wow.
At 17 years old. And he has been in there ever since. So how could he ever be a positive contributor to society?
It's impossible at this point.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And
I mean, what help did he get while he's been in this long? None, probably nothing.
Gangs, working out. He's been institutionalized,
right?
And he's pulled scams and left and right. I've had to talk to news stations and clergy and stuff that he's got them fooled that he was wrongly convicted and he's innocent and blah blah blah. And it's just how can you honestly say that this man would ever be anything other than what he is? He's playing the game, and they're like, oh well, he's the trustee now. Man, does this say stupid on my forehead?
Right.
You and I both know that 90% plus of contraband is pushed through the prisons by the trustees.
Right.
So who are you bullshitting here? Because you're not gonna bullshit me. You may bullshit yourself, but you're not gonna bullshit me. As my papa said, you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
Right.
It's
Yeah, they seem to be They seem to be letting out all the hard criminals lately, as I see.
Yeah, and they're not holding anybody accountable for their actions.
No, nothing.
And unless I mean, and there's so many parents that I've seen, stories on that their child did something wrong, and they put their kid's ass on the corner of a busy intersection with a sign saying, "I'm a piece of crap. I'm a thief. I did this. I did that."
Right.
Public shaming.
Right. What does that helping?
Well, I mean, it does help because the kid, the mama's standing right there. You did this. You screwed up. This is how you go. Yeah.
I'm just gonna beat your ass.
Right.
Yeah, but public shaming is a good way of.
You sound like a robot, dude.
Yeah, YouTube been messing my brother up, man.
Do I sound that way when I talk?
Oh no, you've been good, brother. You've been good the whole show. Something about Coyote. I don't want Coyote to talk.
They want the cat. Where's Loki?
Yeah, they want the cat to talk, but not Coyote.
He came through clear.
Oh man.
But no, man, I think you bring back public execution, public, shaming.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
These people, they find out real quick, and with these immigrants and stuff, coming across, and they talk about these rape trees, where they hang women's undergarments that they raped on these trees. That's disgusting, man. That how can you even claim to be a human being and you're gonna do something like that? Have that kind of mindset? We'll make some rape trees and hang your asses from it.
Right.
I mean, the drugs, everything coming through, and that's what people say. Oh, what about the guns coming across Mexico? Yeah, from the United States side going into Mexico, not coming back over here. And I mean, it's crazy. But back to the VA and the military and everything, it's a broken system. Been there, done that. They keep. It's just like. With the border, with our immigration system, with our welfare system, things like that have been, the same thing for years. Mm-hmm. It's not working. They keep creating change that they talk about.
Right.
And when they go to implement it, they say, oh, well, no, this isn't working. We need to go back to what we had. This, mm-hmm. What'd they tell you, brother, in the military? Only thing constant in the military is change.
Oh yeah, of course.
Every damn day.
Now it's sex change.
Yeah.
Sex change.
at those research hospitals called VA. And
let me ask you about that, man. Let me ask you about that. How do you feel about them lifting the "Don't Ask, Don't Tell"?
That order, I think that was stupid. A lot of people said it didn't work. I felt like it did. Me personally, this is my opinion. You heard me talk about Sergeant Victoria Pascal.
Right.
She was gay. I knew her and her lover and her partner. And I have gay and lesbian friends, and
right.
I like a person for who they are, not who they sleep with. I don't get it. Let people be who they are,
right.
And I have no problem with that. My problem is them pushing it down your throat,
Well, and
you be who you want to be, but don't,
cram it down.
I personally don't. Yeah, I don't personally agree with it, biblically speaking, but it's none of my business. And keep it to yourself.
No, I mean, it's,
live
and let live, love and let love. But,
Yeah, I'm not here talking about I'm a straight man all day, every day.
Yeah. Pronouns and shit,
I'm not here having straight marches.
No.
Yeah.
That's funny, T.
And you saw that the Navy, they're
Yeah, with the cross dresser. Trust me, a lot of Navy personnel got pissed
person
off.
now is a
I'm
transgender.
sure they did. Yeah, their agenda, man. They pushing it down everybody's throat, man. The military, Nike, Bud Light.
But I mean, all those
Do you-
things, those are material things. You know, the Nike, the Bud Light, all that crap. We don't need that bullshit. Your number one, to me, your number one job in the military, I don't care what your job is, whether you're a secretary or a freaking sniper, your number one obligation is to pick up a weapon and defend this country.
Right.
So you have to be mentally
Yeah.
and physically fit and capable of training on that weapon and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Right.
And so, you know, I've had people from the Department of the Army tell me that my injuries could have happened just any soldier. Really? And asked the lady, have you ever been in the military? No. Then you don't know what the hell you're talking about, lady.
Right.
I said, and this was a little over a year ago. I said, let's take the current events as an example. And this was with the escape from Afghanistan. I said, who did they send back to Afghanistan to help those people get out of there? Let me think. It was the 10th Mountain Division, 2 Marine Recon Regiments, and the 82nd Airborne. Why didn't they send just any soldier over there to do that?
Right.
What, are they going to throw a typewriter at them? You know? A fucking computer monitor, a tough box at them, you know?
Right.
No, we slinging lead, motherfucker. This is how it goes.
Right.
You know, and that whole situation with that suicide bomber, dude had target. He had him in sight. Could have taken him out, and they told him to stand down. And then boom. All that could have been avoided, you know, and you know, these people want to say, oh, well, President Trump, you know, set all that up before Joe Biden, you know, got elected. Well, hey, you're president of the free world. You got the right to say, oh, yeah, my predecessor did this, but this is what we're going to do now.
Right.
You know, and they didn't expect the Taliban to take over so quickly.
Right.
They were rats waiting in the damn closet, just ready to jump out. And I mean, it's insane. Whatever gave the thought to our American leaders that we could go over and democratize the Middle East, you know, to change these people's
they feel like this
religious beliefs and personal beliefs.
Right.
They've been doing
It's like this forever. We can't change what's been done forever.
No. And you know, there was one time in history that the Sunnis and the Shiites came together and fought together, and that was under Saladin. He was a tribal leader, and his reign lasted for about 100 years, but they came together under Saladin to get the Christians out of the Holy Land. That was the last crusade. After 100 years, they went back to slaughtering each other because they have a different interpretation of the same freaking book.
Right. Crazy.
And if you know, every religion is, you know, praying for peace and love and harmony, why do we have to label it? Why is, you know, being a Catholic better than being a Baptist or, you know,
right.
I mean, what does it matter? You know, it's just, it's ridiculous. And, you know, that's what, you know, we've lost our moral compass in this country.
Yes, we've definitely lost it. Yes.
And how to bring that back, you know, I mean, it starts at home, but it starts in your community. And with V for V, we try to bring our veterans together in the community, whether it's helping them with housing, employment, getting their benefits, appealing denials, transportation, you know, whatever it may be, you know, just to be an ear, just to talk to somebody.
Right.
That's what we do every single day. And we work with the resources in our communities to make these things happen.
Right.
We just had last Friday a stand down event, which these are put on in the communities. We do Port Arthur, Orange, Texas, Beaumont, Texas, then Jasper, Texas. Next year we want to expand more, but we get these just pallets and pallets of donations from DOD, and you know, these events are for our homeless veterans, homeless veterans, and less fortunate, whether they're homeless or just low income, whatever it may be.
Got you.
And we bring all the resources in the community. They register and they have booths at these event centers to tell the veterans and the community what is available to them, what they can use, and that there's hope out there, and there's people hiring, and there's things to do, education. But those happen at certain events during the year. V4V brings all that together every day.
Got you. So brother, how can we get involved to help out, man?
Well, start in your communities. And you know, I mean, V4V has our Facebook page, Southeast Texas Veterans, the number 4 Veterans. We're at Southeast Texas veteransforveterans.com. Our email is setxv4v. At gmail.com. And my phone number is 409-227-0727. That's my home number. That's listed on my Facebook page, our website. And we're here for our veterans. And it's our prayer that by bringing our community veterans together, that the community witnesses this and they start to come together and take pride in themselves, and it overflows into the community to where we're working together and holding each other up, not holding each other down.
Got you.
You know, we can get rid of this, we can make change, but it begins in our own communities. You know, we have to have these people involved and instill the backbone, the moral standard that, hey, you know, we can change this. We can make it better. We can, you know, all this equality and everybody has to have the same thing. Bullshit, man. If you want it, go out and work and earn it. All these people that are handed things are never going to be grateful. They're never going to be satisfied because they have never earned it.
Right.
So instead of coming to America and getting a job and changing your life for you and your family for generations to come, they come riding America's coattails, Uncle Sam's coattails. And that's you and I. That's our freaking taxpayers' dollars. All these entitlements. Social Security is not an entitlement. Yeah, we're entitled to it. We paid for it, dumbass.
Right.
You know, the immigration system needs to be revamped. The welfare system needs to be revamped.
Right.
All these outdated systems need to be upgraded and readjusted to provide for the times, the way things are now.
Right.
With talking about putting homeless people in jail if they don't get off the street. Look at the West Coast. You got all these homeless people. They're all on drugs. That's free use. I mean, you got to get those people the help, the mental help, the therapy to get off the drugs, the treatments. I mean, you got, you know, addicts with their Narcan dispensers grabbing Narcans, and addicts are recuperating overdose, you know, their buddies that are ODing. Oh, let me give you some Narcan. Here you go. You're awake again. Here, let me shoot you up with some more fentanyl.
We have that up here, brother. Every day we got somebody with a stand with Narcan, free Narcan stand. It's bad.
I mean, you know, it doesn't make any sense. If this is the solution, you know, what incentive are you giving them to stop the drugs?
You're not giving them nothing. You said, go ahead. We're going to save you, though. Don't go ahead and draw the drugs.
Here's your lifesaver. Yeah. You know, go ahead and swim with that shark. We're going to shoot him in the head. We're right here watching, you know. I mean, you're throwing them a lead weight while they're drowning.
Right.
You know, and it takes time. It takes adjustment. It takes patience. It takes understanding. But we have to have this with each other to become, you know, unified. You know, they want to talk about us coming together and treating each other with kindness and respect. I'll be kind and respectful to you, but I'm not a 3 strikes and you're out. I'm a one time. You disrespect me, you use me, or you know, whatever, you do me wrong, that's it. You're off. You're cut. I'm done. And
I hear that, brother. I hear that.
But it's for all of us. This you know, BS that, you know, everything's racist, and you know, hey, race goes all ways. They keep talking white supremacy, but like you and I were talking about earlier, and they have these Latino people with freaking swastikas and, you know, Nazi flags and things.
Right.
And they're claiming they are white supremacists.
We got more than white supremacy in America.
Why aren't they shooting themselves? You know, you're gonna tell me this Mexican dude's a white supremacist? You know?
Yeah, BS, man.
Are you kidding me?
The one that shot up in people in Allen, Texas.
Oh yeah, and hey guys, today on a serious note, seriously, let's keep the victims and the parents of Uvalde in our hearts and in our prayers. Today's the anniversary.
Okay.
We
Dang,
have,
has it already been a year?
yeah, unfortunately,
Wow.
Jeez, man.
we have a nonprofit here. It's called Surviving Parents of Southeast Texas. Um, when the Uvalde incident occurred, they went to Uvalde from Beaumont, and V for V, my organization, American Legion, we sent donations and we made gift bags for the victims' parents and families. And so let's not forget those people and the just the horrible situation they've been through that they're still dealing with every day. I know it's a struggle for each of them every day to a different extreme, but it's a horrible thing. I believe in the Second Amendment,
Right.
but that was put in place for a purpose against a tyrannical government. That was so that we would never, be taken with our pants down again. But the access that these defective people, whether mentally or whatever the hell their problem is, they say that video games and TV and all that stuff doesn't desensitize these kids and these people. I beg to differ.
Right.
They see it. They are live action gaming and things, so it seems real to them in their immature minds.
Right.
And then others have just lost hope and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm going out this way."
Right. Yeah.
And so we have to, as parents, and we have to manage our children, to teach them to instill morals and values and principles in our children, and let them grow up and know that they matter.
Exactly.
That what they do, their actions have consequences, whether they're
right.
doing good or bad. We're all born with an inherent sense of wrong or right. How our parents groom that and what we choose to do with that, whether we feed the right or feed the wrong, that's on us.
Right.
We need to step up and take accountability and have some self-respect.
Amen.
And so I help veterans. I am a veteran. I help veterans, but this is about more than just veterans. This is about humanity. This is about people.
Yes, perfectly said. Yep. Brother, listen, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. I want you to come on again, man. We have time, brother.
Any day, brother. I am so grateful, T, for you bringing me on, and Coyote, and even though I can't see you.
Right. he's high from us.
Yeah. He's hanging out with Mr. Oriagato, Mr. Roboto.
So, Damian,
everybody sees my ugly face too much.
How do we find you on social media, brother?
Say what, T?
How do we find you on social media? Instagram.
Social media. I'm Damian Blanton. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. But Southeast Texas Veterans for Veterans, or V4V.
Okay.
We're on Facebook. We have our website, Southeast Texas Veterans for Veterans.com. You can email me, setxv4v@gmail.com. And hell, like I said earlier, my phone number is 409-227-0727. If you're a veteran in need, if you know a veteran, that needs help, needs assistance, just needs to talk, call us up. This is what we do. I am blessed to be able to do what I do from my back patio, and I have an amazing group of people and veterans around me on my board and on our committees that make these things happen, that put on these events. And there are so many people that want to help and that do help, and there are resources out there. If you feel lost, reach out. Someone is going to be there. And if you're a veteran, there's not a certain day of the month that's a buddy check call. Every day is a buddy check call. Check on your brothers and sisters. Make sure they're doing okay. Just, remind them that they're not alone.
Right.
There's millions of us veterans out there, and all we want from this government is what they promised us and what we've earned. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's it.
But these elected officials do not deserve better pay, better health care, and better retirement packages than a veteran.
There you go.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey man, special guest Miss Damian Bennett came on. Hey man, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the voice.
We're gonna have this brother back on later, man. But like I said, if you need some help, if you're a veteran, even if you're a military spouse, hey,
a Gold Star family.
Yes, even spouses need help too. Yes, it's not easy, taking care of these wounded warriors, and
they serve with us.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So don't feel like you're left out. You spouses are part of the team as well. So make sure you call, get the help all you need. And like I said, reach out to Damian Bennett. Great guy, man. Great guy. First time meeting, first time talking to him. Great. He's not a brother of mine. He's a brother now.
Oh.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he gave out the information you need from to reach out. And it's been a great show, man. I love it, man. Great show. Hey, Coyote, appreciate you again, man. Bringing all the great guests to the show. Brother from another mother.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Yes.
And shout
Do
out.
me a favor, though. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, though. Do me a favor. Go reach out to Damian Bennett. Go check him out on Facebook, Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
LinkedIn.
Nope, no Twitter, no
LinkedIn.
Instagram.
I'm sorry, LinkedIn. Make sure you check him out on his social media pages. Also, do me a favor, check out my brother's channel, The Bob's Broadcast. Great content. He look. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have any special guests on my show. So please go check his channel out. He does life coaches, musicians, comedians, paranormal activity. He got it all, man. He got it all. Great content. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, and share. Please do. I appreciate y'all doing that. I don't even know if y'all turn your notifications on. Turn on all your notifications so you get to see these shows live. I know you're watching after the fact, but sometimes you want to come in and get it live sometime, all right? And tomorrow, I'm ahead. Anyway, Friday, ladies and gentlemen, Friday we got Mr. Masculinity, Mr. Nico Legan. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a son or you got a husband or whatever that needs some masculinity, have him come on Friday. You might want to check him out too, David. You might want to check out Nico. He got a lot of masculinity.
Yeah, it's not hard to have. You're born with it.
Hey, I thought I had a lot too until I met Nico.
Right.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be back 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Damian, appreciate you, brother. Love you, man.
Thank you, brother. Peace, love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to
be kind to each other.
Take care of yourself. Love each other. Love your kids. Raise your kids. Raise your kids. And get your kids on social media. We out here.
Something's going on, there's pain inside. We'll figure it out, we'll take the time. I'll see you in the morning, I'll say to you, come on, let's talk, just me and you. Something's going on, there's pain inside. We'll figure it out, we'll take